Hello, Year 12. I hope you are all staying well and safe. Thank you for all the work that you have been doing so far. And hopefully you've managed to get yourself a copy of Accidental Death of an Anarchist and read it, so you have some idea and understanding of what's going on in the play. And hopefully as well you've completed them tasks, them basic research tasks that I've asked you to complete. So your grounding and understanding is really starting to show. So we're going to focus on Act 1, Scene 1 in this lesson. So we're looking at farcical conventions. This play, Dario Fo, he made it a farce. So we're going to focus on the opening exchange between the maniac and Bertozzo. By only reading the first 4 pages, we can instantly see Dario Fo's use of farcical conventions. So I want you to look at pages 1 to 4 and this exchange. And what we're going to do, the task is, I want you to tick off the amount of conventions you see that confirm that this play is a farce. Now, feel free if you want to photocopy these pages, so therefore you can highlight the conventions, or you can just copy the list of conventions down and tick them off when you see them. Remember, you cannot write in your book. Okay, so if you did, you can also get some post-it notes. If you did want to just keep your book, you can write on the post-it notes. So let's look at the conventions of a farce. So we've got double entendre. So this means a word or phrase open to 2 interpretations, one of which is usually risque or indecent. We have misunderstandings. We have the use of deceptions, absurd and ridiculous situations. There's often rapid entrances and exits of characters. There's this idea of concealment, of so the action of hiding something or preventing it from being known. We also have social transgressions. So this happens whenever an individual steps out of or breaks the idea of these social rules, and that's mainly the maniac that does these. We have stock characters, and we will look at this during the next lesson. We have slapstick and physical comedy. We have puns, so we have the jokes exploiting the different possible meanings of a word, or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have different meanings. So there's lots of puns. And just that main one, that the idea of absurdity and nonsense. So I want you to just, on your piece of paper, I would like you to just write down these conventions. And these are conventions that you, especially for accidental death, you really need to kind of use them as much as possible. I'm going to give you a few minutes now, so you can pause the video here. I want you to pick out and annotate the first 4 pages of the script with any of the above farcical conventions that you see when you are reading it. This may take you a couple of goes at reading through, but I really want you to just have a go at really trying to understand within them first 4 pages Dario Fo's intentions of using these conventions. So you can pause the video now. Okay, so what did we find reading them pages? So we found physical comedy, the idea of that mousetrap. We had absurd, nonsensical stories, especially from the maniac. We had social transgressions being seen. So the maniac definitely breaking them social traditions and kind of rules. We had a hint of concealment, so about the rail workers' suicide. We had stock characters, and we definitely had deceptions throughout them first 4 pages. What you can do if you did struggle with picking out the conventions, what I'd like you to do is pause the video, and I'd like you to just reread and really just try and pick out these 6 points within them first 4 pages, and just annotate, and just so you can clearly see where all these things are happening. Okay, so you should have done that now. So we're considering the demands for actors in a farce now. So we're going to look at the theory about farces and the influence of a farce and why Dario Fo made Accidental Death a farce. So I want you to read the article now. I've attached the article to show my homework. So you should be able to open that up and print it off. While reading the article, I want you to begin to prepare your answer to the following question. And the question is, what does an actor need to know about performing in a farce? Okay. So again, that question, what does an actor need to know about performing in a farce? You should highlight the important sections of the article as you read it. So you can pause the video now, so you can read that article, thinking about that question. What does an actor need to know? If you were performing this, what would you need to know to be able to pull off them farcical conventions? Okay, so once you've read the article and highlighted the sections, scribbled all over it, your notes, I want you to compose your response to that question, and I would like you to write your response down to that question. So again, you can pause the video here so you can have that question up, but I would like you to compose a response. Okay, so now you've kind of understood what an actor needs to know when performing a farce. We're going to look at the speed of farces and acting styles needed. So I want you to imagine and remember the image of a spinning top. So how it might start off slowly and then quickly gain speed to become extremely fast. I want you to read the first 4 pages out loud, concentrating on the speed of the performance. Now, this might be really odd, because in theory we should be able to do this together, but we can't, unfortunately. But the main objective here is not to read it in your head. because you won't hear it. So I want you to read it out loud. Now, you can use 2 different voices for the characters if you want to, or if you're really struggling, you can always ask someone else, so in your house, to go through this with you. I know some of you have been in school at the same time, so you might want to read these pages with someone else at school to just help you really hear it. So I want you to make a note of when you think the dialogue begins to increase in speed. But also think about the characters. So it's not just about what they're saying, it's also about the character individually and what they're trying to show. So for example, this could be once Bertozzo starts to become annoyed by the maniac. You might see an increase of the speech build up by the 2 of them together. So as the maniac annoys Bertozzo, we could start to see that speed really pick up pace. But you could also play, while you're looking at them together, you can also look at them separately, so as characters. So while Bertozzo might speed up, the maniac could not be affected by the idea of this spinning top, and therefore slow down to really create that contrast and farcical style. So we have 2 characters here playing off each other with their speed and tempos. And how does that influence them farcical conventions? So I want you to read these, and again, I want you to annotate by the side. I don't just want you to say, he speeds up here, he slows down here. I want you to clearly justify why the character might speed up. What's influencing that character to speed up? What's influencing the maniac to slow down and not be affected by this? So you might have to do this quite a few times for you to really kind of get to grips with where the speed picks up and slows down. So you can pause the video here to be able to do that. Once you have completed these tasks, all of the written tasks during this lesson, I'd like you to take pictures of what you have completed, and I would like you to send them to me. Now you can either attach them onto the Show My Homework page, where I can access them, or you can email them to me. Majority of you will know my email address. I have sent emails out throughout this period. So that should be easy for you to do. Okay, so I am going to set another lesson in the next couple of days, and that's going to continue to look at kind of the farce of accidental death, but we're going to look at other aspects of Act 1, Scene 1. Okay. Thank you. Stay safe and speak to you soon.